Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of The Hot Seat. I will be your host Abigail, and today we are going to discuss Michael Johnson and his Grand Slam track league and the controversy surrounding his league that is supposed to launch next year. So we all know that Grand Slam track league will be launching. The first events will be happening next year and the debut will be in Jamaica with millions up for grabs in prize money. So for the registered athletes, I'm sure they are really working hard, training hard to make sure they don't go away empty-handed. But despite the prize money and despite the structures being there and everything seeming to just go smoothly, there has been some controversy with questions about why he decided to exclude field events, and Michael Johnson defended his decision. He said he knows he can only save track, and for field events, they should get their savior too. And he talked about how field events would do well in a setting that has maybe the World Championships or Olympic Games because of the longevity, and having broadcasting rights and stuff like that is really quite difficult. So probably that was his reasoning. So he claimed he can only save track and not track and field as a whole. And Tara Davis Woodhull, the Olympic champion, and her husband Hunter Woodhull decided to go after him for making those comments. And Tara Davis in particular told him not to engage in this sport right now. She suggested that since he's a retired athlete, he should have saved the events back then when he was still active in the sport, and he should just leave the sport alone. And she was saying that it is track and field for a reason. Track and field for a reason, and so Michael Johnson should consider focusing on track and field or just leaving the sport alone. And she was very furious, being at field events and learning that your sport is not being given the attention it needs. And she was talking about how track and field is doing so well, but is it? You tell us in the comments. Is track and field doing so well in these times? So Michael Johnson just wants to revolutionize track and not field events. And Justin Gatlin, the 2004 Olympic champion, and Rodney Green, also a retired sprinter, came to Michael Johnson's aid, with Justin Gatlin saying that Michael Johnson can only fix what he knows. And being a former sprinter, he was a former track and field athlete, having won 4 Olympic gold medals in the sprints, so he knows quite a bit about track and field track events. And Justin Gatlin noted that he can only fix what he knows. And that is track. So they should give him some grace and see how the events go next year from Jamaica. From Jamaica you can know if this is something that people would want to venture into and stuff like that. And also Rodney Green noted that Michael Johnson is a legend, and even after his retirement he has been involved in the sport from being a broadcaster at BBC, also being a sports commentator. He has been a very vital part in sports, and they should just not dismiss him like that because he excluded the track events. I know it might be rubbing some field athletes in the wrong way, and they might feel there is no inclusivity and stuff like that, but Gatlin noted that with Michael Johnson coming up with the track league, the Grand Slam track league, it should be a wake-up call for field legends, for athletes who practice field events maybe in the 90s, to also try and come up and revolutionize field events, and find opportunities for the likes of Tara Davis, the likes of Mondo Duplantis. And you also figure out that the Grand Slam track league is a business. It's a business, and we all know at this point in time, track events are the ones that are booming. You'd want to watch sprinting events. You'd want to see Kenny Bednarek compete, Noah Lyles compete. Sydney has signed with the track league, so everybody would want to see athletes competing in short sprints, maybe middle distances. But when it comes to field events, very few people are interested in that, and they would want to there's not much exposure when it comes to field events. So when looking at the business side, Michael Johnson was smart enough to decide to invest in track events and leave field events alone, because for field events I presume most field athletes are not out there per se. They are not out there. You know the likes of Tara Davis and Mondo Duplantis. Those are the top athletes that probably people would want to come and watch them compete. But for other field athletes, it would be probably quite a tall order for you to go and say you want to go and watch field athletes doing their thing. So I believe he looked also at the business point of view, and you want to make profits from that. So having the focusing on track only and trying to save track only, and including very interesting events was a move he decided to go with. And Justin Gatlin and Rodney Green have decided to back him up, and not that he's making the right decision. He's going to save what he thinks he can save, and people should give him grace going forward. So you can tell us your thoughts. What do you think about Michael Johnson just deciding to venture into track alone and exclude track and field? Do you think it's unfair? Do you think it's fair? Do you think it's a smart move that he made? Because it's track and field for a reason. As Tara said, it's track and field for a reason. So why he decided to venture into track alone, he knows best, but you can just tell us your thoughts. And even World Athletics are backing him up for the decision he made, which means that he's not on the entirely wrong. He's not entirely wrong for deciding to go and focus on track events only. And we've seen there are many track leagues that are coming up slowly, and it's becoming a challenge for World Athletics to increase the prize money and focus on athletes. And there's Athlos happened. It was a women only event, and there were no complaints per se. So it was a women only event, and it was offering a very hefty prize money, and that prompted World Athletics to also increase the Diamond League prize money. There's also the Ultimate Championship by World Athletics, which has very interesting matchups. So probably having these track leagues, there are many track leagues that are coming up, but where are the field events? Maybe field events legends can come out and decide to also come up with a track league for field events, which can help revolutionize track field events also, and not just track entirely. So that's what we have for today. You can say your comments, or share your thoughts about what you think about the Grand Slam Track League. Is it secluding field events? Is Michael Johnson smart to decide to venture into track events only, or he should also consider having field events? And was Tara Davis and Hunter Woodhall right? Were they right to call him out, and post it on their social media handles and criticize why he decided to focus on track events and not field events? Were they entirely right? Was that a good move to make? Okay, that has been it for today. See you next time. Bye.